Good morning. Hope it's nice and sunny where you are, but do you know what? The sun's always shining here at Carnation Crafts, and especially today because we're bringing you the latest one to the family of the Clean and Simple Plus range. Now, if you've seen Clean and Simple before, yes, we do the box and you get everything else in it, but every now and again, we like to just give you those exercise, those large size dies, and we also like to make sure then you still get the layerability by having the perfect aperture and everything else. So this one is the latest one, the Delicate Sweet Pea, and as you can see from the colour rays, the sunshine is really shining with this range. You've got those beautiful pops of colour with it. As always, you are going to get the artwork for free. Bear in mind though, we have got a special show price of $39.99. This will go back up on Friday at midnight, so bear that in mind. But already I need to tell you 40% as the stock has already gone. A lot of you were waiting for this. As soon as we put it on the website, it has absolutely stormed, and it's just going to get busier and busier and busier. So pop over to the website, carnationscrafts.co.uk, and everything is on there. But do you know what? Let's show you close up exactly what you're going to get. Now, to show you, I love the boards because this just maps it out. It gives you the full sizes so you can see exactly what you're getting. But because these are the plus ones, they are slightly larger, still going to fit in a standard size envelope, so you're going to be absolutely fine with those. But you've got all your layers, you've got the perfect aperture, and you've got that lovely domed curve to it this time. So very elegant, very stylish as always. But then you're going to get your sweet pea image. You'll also get your mats and layers, and then you will get the plaques, the cottage frames, if you want to add your sentiments from any of the other Clean and Simple collections. All your little stamps are going to fit in there as well. But as you can see, with the colour palette, with the artwork, when that is matted and layered together, you have got that perfect alignment with your mats and layers. You've got that lovely aperture, and I've got lots of demos showing you different ways of using it as well, so make sure you stay with us today. But the Delicate Sweet Pea die set, as you can see, is fabulous. Now, just to show you as well, now the obviously going to get your packaging, which is really important. I've started punching holes in the side of mine. I've put them in a ring binder so it keeps them all together, and then I know they're nice and flat. But look at the amount of metal. You're getting super size ones with this because it's a plus range. You've got embossing detail as well on your dies, but perfect alignment as always. But as you can see, these are amazing. So let's show you some finished samples to start with, because this is where you're going to get your inspiration from. First of all, I'm going to show you some obviously upright ones, but you can make this landscape, portrait, whatever you want to do, and you can see how beautiful they are. Could be just a few little pearls that you want to add there as well, but you can see with the embossed detail, you can use the flower on the outside edge and then use some beautiful enamel dots, which we've got on the website, so do check those out. Why not make a see-through card with a beautiful aperture? Look at this, it goes all the way through. How beautiful is that? And that's from Janine, so you can see with that. Now this is where we start taking it up. This is what we're talking about. Pam has had the same idea as me, swapping it round, making a double aperture, and because you've got perfect alignment, it's so easy to do. So if you've always wanted to do something a little bit more fancy, you can definitely do this with, I would say, probably 80% of all the Clean and Simple range. Then just to show you, if you want to do cards the other way, showing them on the angle, showing it slightly different, but you can see even with a double one, you can still do it on its side, and look how fabulous these are looking. Look at that. You've got that real grandeur on there as well. I thought as well, it looked a little bit like an arch window. So for a wedding card or something like that, you could use it in that aspects. So don't be frightened to do that. But let's show you as well, just a couple of inspiration using some of your other die that you've got, some of the other vignettes. Look at this, adding in these beautiful lily of the valley. You could add those in, or snowdrops, whatever you've got. You might just have just a little piece of greenery that you want to bring in. Now this one works so well. Look at that. It's like they've jumped in the puddle as they're going down the road, and you can see, but that really draws the eye in and gives you that point of interest on there too. Now look at this one, but look how fabulous this is. When you've got Clean and Simple in your life, which I know a lot of you have now, and you are collecting them, having the plus ones in there as well just adds that little bit of a twist to it. So now, for this price that we are offering you today, pop over to the website and get this one for $39.99. The price obviously will go up on Friday, so make sure, and you know the plus ones, they really do get busy, because some of you are like, oh, I've got cardstock, I've got other bits. This is just linking in with what you already have. So utilize this while we do have it. Now, I'm going to show you how to do a little card. We're going to start off. So if you're brand new and you get this collection, if you have just got white cardstock, this is going to be so easy. So if you're brand new, you can take it out of the box. But then as we go through the demos in this hour, I'm going to start mixing it up. So there's lots of different inspiration for lots of you. Now, what I've done is taken the large die. So the largest one that's on the actual plate when you get this is the largest one. Utilize this to make your card blank bases, okay? But if you wanted to, you can fold them. I'm going to do it with mine because this is the back of the card. It doesn't matter. Make sure you can fold them in half. You can make little tags out of them, because the elements on there you can always cut down. You can make little tags as well. You can also use this as well, you know, if you're wanting to make little napkin rings, things like that, for it all to coordinate for a wedding. You can do lots and lots of different things with it, so do look at that. I've just scored about 1/2 inch in. I'm using some red liner tape because obviously it's a moving part and I want it to stick super quick. So all I'm going to do is align the two pieces that I cut the same size. That is my card blank. I am good to go. So it could be landscape, it could be portrait, doesn't matter, but now that is going to stand up and just give you that bit of detail. And then what we've got is the next layers, and this is what makes it so incredible, Clean and Simple. Look at this. So all you're going to do is take the different layers of the dies, and all you're going to do is just cut them out. This is 350 GSM cardstock available on the website, and all we're going to do then is position them over the top. Look at that. You've got perfect alignment, perfect detail, and you've got that embossed detail as well. So it does make it easy to really get your concept of your cards together. It's like having a staple, and then from there you can mix in to whatever you want. So just making sure that's level. I've got foam on the roll on the bag just to give it a little bit of height, and then it shows, well, it showcases more the actual layers that are there as well. So just take those out. Now with this, it doesn't matter which way you want to do it. You might want to do it that way or that way. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. I personally like it more sat on this side, but that's just me. But you could then, but obviously if you're going to put this one on that side, it will cover it up. It is meant to sit exactly on the top to give you, can you see that perfect layer on there with that one? And they do look elegant. They look very crisp and clean. So this is why these look like more like a boutique style of card. You have got that dynamic look with it. Now the artwork is available for you to download. Just go to the website carnationcrafts.co.uk, and on there you'll be able to download your vignettes. As always, you'll get the A4 sheet. It's got a score line down the middle. If you put a little bit of glue on the back, a little bit of spray glue I would say, or stick glue, something like that, then you can die cut it. You've got them double-sided, so that's where then you can flip it, so whichever side you're on, it doesn't matter. You've got the best of both. Now I'm going to slot this in slightly so it just sits underneath like that. So a little bit of a wiggle first just to pop that into there. But if you wanted it more on this side, you could utilize that. Then you could have your sentiment, just showing your composition, different ways of using it, because it's really important, you know, you get the most from this. So you could add that there. You could actually put that in there as well, like that. You've got all the layers, and you've got the larger ones to fit into there as well. So, you know, have a play around. As always, when I get them, all the bits I like cut out, and then I'll have a little play and lay things out, and that's how you come up with more and more ideas. But if you are doing invitations, what a quick and simple way. You could just have one night where you cut all the base bits out, get it all ready, and the next day then you could just glue it all together. It makes it a lot easier, believe you me. So I'm just going to slot that into there, and I'm just going to tuck that just a little bit onto there. Now with this one, then you get that slight opening behind. If you wanted to add coloured cardstock, you can do that, but I just thought if somebody's brand new I don't want them to be frightened about it. White cardstock, if you've got that, you're going to be good to go. So that's tucked in nicely there. Then I'm going to get my glue gel, because we have got these fabulous pieces, and this is your decoupage layers. So with this, a little bit of glue, curve it, and then just sit them on the top. I never glue them down flat. I like them to move a little bit. And this is where we've tucked it, I can then go over the top so it looks like then it's growing out. But I've got the support underneath with that on there as well. So you can see we're starting to build this up. I've curved the edge of the flowers, so don't be frightened to do that as well. And if you wanted to, even with these bits, sometimes you don't always have to keep them uniform for that. If you just want a little accent in the corner, you can build it up there. Or if you want a few more at the bottom, you want to, like with me, I'm going to go rogue and I'm just going to tuck another one in there, because our sentiment's going to go across there. So I just want another little flower there, just personally for me, just to give it a bit of balance. But if you're new, follow it to the letter, you won't go wrong, and honestly you are going to make the most amazing cards. Now it is like a little business in the box, because you can make and sell with everything from this collection as always, so you can have a merry time making and selling your cards to get the full potential out of them. And with these designs, you can't go wrong. These will become your classic shapes. Think of it like a little black dress. You've got that detail, that design that really is going to give you that beautiful look. So as you can see, if I just move these out the way so you can have a little look, when I stand this up, then you have got a really stylish, elegant card that will give you the dimension, it will give you the shape, perfect alignment that you haven't got to worry about. And you can see that it just makes it simple. That's why we call it clean and simple, the simplest, cleanest way to get the most professional aperture and the easiest aperture that is out there. There's no way I could cut a curve like that with a knife and try and get it to line up. This will do it all for you. This is your Delicate Sweet Pea die collection, and as you can see, this is very, very beautiful. It holds on this price just till Friday, so don't forget, Friday is your chance, but I don't think it'll be around till Friday, to be honest with you, because over 40%, and thank you to everybody being with us this morning, and obviously being on the website as soon as it launched, trying to get yours so you don't miss out. That was a great shout, so well done to everybody who got theirs. But let's do something a little bit different now. So still using that collection, I'm still using the sweet pea and the dies, but the only thing I'm adding in is little bits from a different die collection. It was a large panel. I don't know the name, I'll be honest, but a lot of you have got these, I know, on the website, so just have a look. So let's explain what we've done. First of all, again, I've taken the two largest sizes, the large size die, and I've cut two. This is going to be my card blank, so let's fasten this together. Then if you want to and get a little bit more daring, this is where then I always use my, like scrap bits of paper or cardstock. If you take one of the larger frames, the next one down, the mat and layer, let me bring this over and I'll show you. You can see you can then make a frame. Oh, I did use the large one. I thought I'd use that one. Use the large frame like so, okay? And then what I did was I then took the shaped aperture, I'm just taking it off of there, and I lay that on the inside, okay? So I run it through the machine, so then it gave me a little frame. So instantly I've got a frame, aperture, so I can use that. But then the piece that was left on the inside, which was this piece, you can see I run it through the machine once, okay? Then what I did was take it out, and this piece was then solid, and then I flipped it over, slid it back in, and then die cut it again, and that's how I got a double-sided one. So that's how then you can make that. Now the two pieces that popped out of there, what I've done, so these, is what I'm going to do is fasten these together, and these are going to be a center point there. So again, we're using the little bits of waste from our card as well, so don't be frightened to, have a little bit, because I'd been faffing about cutting bits, and then I thought, oh, I kind of want to fill that in a little bit, and I want to add a bit of trellis style to it. So that's when I did get a little bit carried away, I'm not going to lie to you. But you know me, there is different ways, and sometimes I like to challenge myself, and I know a lot of you are the same. Just trying to use different bits from your kit is really going to give you that elegance and that style, and it gives you a different one. Because what I do is then with the kit, the bits that I've cut out just of ordinary white paper or cardstock, I keep them as like templates to remember when I go back to it how I did it and what I did. Because like I say, that on a, you can imagine that could be the sides on a box, vellum behind it, little lights. If for Christmas, that'd be great. The lid of a rectangular box, that's going to be super cute as well. So we'll leave that frame just to dry on there, because that's going to be our backdrop. Now then I got all these little pieces, so I thought I'm going to be a bit frugal and a bit crafty with this. And what I wanted to do then was to add these bits to build behind there the frame. Now I'm not worried about that bit being seen, because once these bits are over the top, you're not going to see it, but I've got all the little bits to pop that onto there. So let's start building this up. So first of all, I'm just going to add in this piece, but see what bits you've got at home, because I hadn't actually got the right size. So I thought, right, I'm going to make this work. I'm not, you know, I'm not the best with fabric, but I can make this work with this one. So again, with that one, because this was the other side, it was slightly shorter, but I wasn't worried about the gap because that will be hidden. Oh, I take the tape off it out. Oh dear, it's one of them days, So let's just add in this onto this side as well. So just catching that just there, that's going to stick there. So already we're starting to build that up. Now you have got these little bits here which obviously did concern me, so all I'm going to do is just stick little bits on there just to cover up those gaps. And can you see it looks like a full piece? So, you know, don't ever think, oh, you know, I've cut that bit off and that would be waste. There is never any waste with any of these. You can really go to town and make some fabulous designs by just piecing these together. Obviously, if it's in the same colour, look, you're going to get away with it. You're not going to see that. Then what we're going to do is, oh, I'm just going to add a little bit of, I know I've got my foam on a roll, but I just want to add a little bit of wet glue just to give me a little bit of wiggle room as well. So you can always put a little bit of wet glue on top of your foam on a roll just to give you that little bit of a wiggle, because obviously your foam will grab first, but then you've got that little bit wiggly with the wet glue. So that's where you can slot it into place. And because I've done it a frame within a frame, you can see it gives it that stance. It's already given it a drop shadow and giving you a different effect. Now this again was the waist bits, so all I'm going to do is foam on a roll again, but it's elevated, but it's just giving it a style. But I just thought it made it look really regal. It made it look really fancy, and we're using up all the bits that we would have left over. So again, it's a bonus. You're not wasting it, and if you're making and selling, that's the best way, because you're making the embellishments out of bits of paper like the background. We're not using lots of ribbons and fancy expensive papers. We are just using, you know, paper as it is, but it looks like you've spent a lot of money, like you've used expensive things, because you've got the quality of the dies that is giving you all that detail. So just positioning that again, it's just dressing the centerpiece. I have got my sentiment as well as some of the flowers, so let's build this up as well. Again, give them a little crease, a little pinch. I leave the bottom bit flat and the sides raised, but if you wanted to, you know, you can snip into them as well. But this would look beautiful in a box frame. If you've got like a nice one of those box frames that you can get from certain, you know, on the high street stores and things like that. I was actually looking at some yesterday, because I just thought if you did this and then matted and laid and put it in a box frame, it'd look really stunning. So, you know, don't be frightened to experiment. That's what it's all about with your card making, and especially with these, please don't be fooled, because I, you know, when you first start talking to people and they say, oh, clean and simple, yes, but you know what, there is nothing simple about these. You can make them as complicated, as complex as you want, but you've got the basis of it to give you that designer feel, which I just think is super luxury each and every time. So let's just add this on to here and we'll start building these up. But this is really giving us a nice look with this. Foam on a roll on this piece just to elevate this bit up as well. And that will just add that little bit of statement there. And I've stamped it in green ink as well. So it is glue gel and everything else. So just bear with me when I pick this up. It may slide a little bit. But that's to show you where you can start to take your designs with your card. Don't be frightened of your dies. Experiment always, first of all, with, it could be copy paper, whatever you want. But then you'll start to see, look at the shapes. And by adding that little bit, and they were just offcuts from a little bit of a background of a die that I had from Carnation. You can see now it looks like lacework. It looks like fretwork. And it just elevates it even more. It's white on white, keeping it very clean and classic. But the artwork does all the beauty, and the artwork is available for free, so make sure you download that. If you're buying this right now on the website, I would then, once you've purchased it, I would go and I would actually then just download and get all of yours as well, and you'll see how fabulous that will be. Great. But do you know what? If you've just joined us and you've just tuned in, good morning. Let's show you what you're actually getting for this fabulous, fabulous collection. Now, this one is the Delicate Sweet Pea, and the Delicate Sweet Peas, when we've done sweet peas before, they've absolutely flown out, and this one has always, I think it's the softness of it, it's the fluidity of the flower as well. But remember, we're Clean and Simple Plus range. You are getting the larger size dies in this one. Perfect alignment as always, the perfect aperture. You get obviously the sentiment plaque in there, you get your decoupage, and you get your main image. It's not like you're getting little teeny tiny flowers then you've got to try and build up. You get the main one, which again can be used on its own, but then you've got the extra bits just to enhance it as well. With the dimension, the shape and the height, this is going to give you the most beautiful look on this one. But like I say, 40% of the stock has already gone. And bear in mind, the price on this one only holds till Friday at midnight, so you need to. I'll just show you. So this is what you'll actually be getting. This is all your metal that you will be getting. You've got that embossed detail. You've got those beautiful curves on there as well. And the thing is, even if you've got details from other kits from Carnation Craft, I thought that could be like the moon. And because I know one time you did a sentiment, something about the love you to the moon and back or something. I can't quite remember, but I was thinking it could be like a moon shape or something like that. You could really do a little bit of a play on words with that one. Then you get your packaging as always, which is amazing, because a lot of companies out there, you'll find it's actual cardboard, whereas now look at some of these. Look at this for a wow factor card. That piece that cuts out the arch has been used to use it as like a plaque style, so that's going to give you that beautiful effect. We've even got our little animals stood on it. So again, it gives them that little shelf-like effect. It's somewhere to ground on your cards. With this one, they've actually used it as an aperture on there, the background. And like with this one, it does look like a fireplace, but that's got like some of the Christmas elements in there. Bring in your best drinks as well. Why not? Party invitations are going to be great with this. But then taking it back to what the kit originally, when you get this and you take it out of the box, this is the kind of thing that you can make. But any of the flowers that you have got from other Clean and Simple collections, you can bring those in. Add those to the mix, add that detail to it, and you can see how different your cards can look. Because look at the one that I've just done and this one. Can you see? Same technique, but very different. Placement of the sentiment looks different, and obviously using it white on white or with that splash of colour will absolutely change the look of it. So have a play around with it as well, and I can't wait to see what you all do with it. Do make sure you follow the Facebook group as well, Carnation Crafters, because we love to see what you do with it. I like to have a perusal through and check what you are doing. So let's do another one. Now this time we're going grande. We are going big. We're going big, or we're going home with this demo. So this was then again one of those at the end when I was prepping, and I thought, oh, what can I do with that waist bit? And I got a bit carried away. So, but you'll see it's still, clean. If you want to add bows to it and everything else, you can. But I just want to show you the principle of it and how well you can change your cards. Now, the mats and layers at the reverse of it, at the back. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I didn't size these till I'd made my frame. Okay, so with this one, I would say that's about 8.5 Yeah, by 8.5. It's a square card, so about 8.5, I would say, or just under. So that's what I did. I used a little bit of my Perfect Papers with the green because I thought the green went so well with this. Okay, so let's do the mats and layers first. So again, inch in, score line. This is going to give me a hinge for this card. But it shows you with these collections as well, you can make larger cards because we often get asked, you know, what size envelope do I need? That with this one I would make a box and I would add bows to it and I would add all sorts to it just to give it that little bit more. But you know, if you're making and selling, you can charge a premium, you can charge more because it's a bigger card. The only thing really I've added in extra is a little bit of my Perfect Papers, so I'm still keeping it cost effective by using my cardstock. Okay, so what I did was I got an A4 sheet of cardstock. I'm going to be honest. I found the centre point, and what I did was, let me show you with my dies. I took the dies and I laid, not that, why keep that? This is the card that I did. That's the next one down with. I knew there was one of them, right? So I didn't take the largest one. I took the next one down, and I popped that on there, taped it down, cut it out. And then I moved it over and I just wanted a few mils. So I did actually measure that to make sure and then cut that out. Once I'd done that, then I cut this down out the A4 sheet of cardstock to the size that I wanted because I wasn't sure if I wanted a wider frame or a narrow frame. But you know, if you wanted to really good gun-ho, you could actually just snip that bit straight out. So it just gave you a large border frame. It's up to you. Then I've cut out the next ones as normal ones, so I cut out 2 of the normal size ones because these are going to fit like so, and then I cut the next 2 sizes again so this would fit in here. So you can see you could use this to make a gatefold card, so you could do it so it opens out if you want, but I've done it as a main. But I just thought now it shows you how we can swap it on its side. Instead of doing a narrow card, we can make a bigger volume card. So let's start sticking this together as well. Really nice to that. Oh, we've had a few people in touch, so let's find out. Oh, lovely. Pearl. Good morning, Pearl. I hope you're okay. Pam Simpson. Good morning, Pam. Oh, was that one? Sorry. Jenny West been in touch. Oh, hi, everybody. It's great to know. Suzanne Page is there as well. And Yvonne. Oh, it's lovely to know you're all there. Oh, you're loving it. I'm so pleased because, you know, obviously I'm like you. I just get to see the dies when they arrive and things like that. And then I kind of hassle them and ask them lots of questions about it. But you can see with this one, I don't know if it's the colourways, it's making me think more of summer, but the design is there's so much potential to it. There's so many different factors that you can bring into this. Only thing I would say to you is always make sure when you're doing your matting and layering, it's always the smaller one that goes on top, because otherwise you'll be like, well, I can't see anything. Don't do it and stick it down. Make sure that you've got that one first. So I'm going to use a little bit of wet glue on the base bit. And this is because I put 2 layers of foam on a roll on my frame. That obviously now protrudes upwards. I had a thing about frames this time. Don't know why. It was all about frames when I started prepping with these. And because this is the size down, it wasn't the first size in the collection. Can you see? Then you've got that beautiful border all the way round. So again, it sinks into it, but it's just giving you that little bit of difference. Then the next layer I've put on foam on a roll, and this is just going to elevate this. And again, I'll try and keep my head out the way, hover over the top, and you can see we've got that perfect alignment. That is just genius. The team does such an incredible job here. Lovely Bunny's with me today, bless her. And she says good morning to you all and hope you're all right. But thank you for being with us. Oh, that's great. So just adding this onto here now. But I must admit, I do get a bit giddy and a bit excited when the Clean and Simple comes through, because I'm like, oh, what can I do with it? And you will become the same. But if you just need to make a quick card, like my mum will sometimes ring me, like I'm going to see my mum after today, and she was like, can you make me a quick card for Sandra at the top of the street? I forgot to tell you. I know you were coming. I was like, so last night I was popping stuff together, and I actually used this kit, but I used some different flowers from a different kit that I'd got, and it just comes together so nicely. it really is a pleasure to use. And you know, when you just want to keep it simple, this is your kit. Now with the flowers as well, what I did with this one, because what I thought was, then we can dress the alternate sides, can you see? And you can make this work. So the bits that I've cut off there, we're going to put on here so I can elongate it, and then I've got bits to stick on there and extra bits to stick on there to make this longer as well. So hopefully you can see that as a box lid would be tremendous. You could really have a great time with that. So I'm just going to pop this onto here, a little bit of foam on a roll again. My sentiment's going to sit here, but if you wanted to, again, behind you could add different colours. You could use some of the patterned cardstocks. You could really make this the dream. This could be the front of a, you know, like a book that you were going to sign at somebody's wedding. It could say congratulations on the front. Everybody could sign it as well. But the colours, sometimes, remember with your cards, it's not all about it looking like a pizza. Not adding too many layers, too many embellishments and everything else. Sometimes, and I do it myself, I think, oh, I'll just add this, I'll just add that. But streamlining it back and your cards will then get that style, that elegance and that boutique style. And with these, yes, you know, a little bit of a bow in that corner, a few gems, you know, the enamel dots that we've got on the website that you've seen on some of the finished samples. Add a few of those. But really, let the artwork do its job. Let it do its thing and just really sing, basically. Now, I'm going to add a few more bits again to this, just to add that little bit of detail. But can you imagine as well if you put acetate behind it? It looked like little wardrobe doors or things like that. So you might even have one of the downloads that we've done in the past with the backgrounds on and, you know, like a country garden or something. You could add little bits like that. So don't be frightened to, you know, really just think, what have you got in your stash, what you could add to this? And you'll notice with these, I'm not putting them down exactly on the top. I'm being a bit naughty as always. I'm just putting it down and twisting it slightly. For me, I find then it just gives it a little bit more fullness and dimension on your card. So again, pop it down and just give it a little bit more of its fullness there too. And hopefully you can see this will hopefully inspire you to give it a go. Don't be frightened. So once I pick this up and we move this round, you can see we have got a larger size card that you would be proud to send to anybody, showcasing the design, showcasing the actual mats and layers that you've got in there. You've got your sentiment on there. Like I say, you could add a few little gems if you wanted to. If you've got some of the carnation butterflies, you could add a couple of butterflies on there. But showing you in the cleanest, simplest form, you can make cards like this to make and sell today. Obviously, you've got to wait for your product to arrive, but if you get on the website, you can start making and selling cards like this. So if somebody's getting married or something like that, it's a larger card for everybody to sign at work. Still beautiful, still stylish. Sorry, my glue's sliding a little bit, but you can see now you have got the potential all in the kit from the Delicate Sweet Pea die collection for you to be able to do that as well. And that really will, you know, give you that option to do that. So let's have a look. Let's get some samples to be on there as well. So let's show you a few more. Again, using the kit, but using, you know, some of the letters that you might have received from Carnation. Look at this little duck. Could be your Easter cards. I know Easter's gone, but, you know, next year you could use this design. These are just great for notebook covers and things like that if you wanted to layer them up, because then they would be quite, you know, like chipboard or something. Best wishes, it could be a bridesmaid's card, just your florals. But each one of these has got so many different pieces of artwork that we've brought to you over the years from Carnation Crafts. It just shows that you can now, oh, that one's upside down. You could have a teddy bear's picnic as well with all the little bits that you have. And that's why I find that the Clean and Simple range slots in so well, because it opens up the realms of giving you a designer card for then you to embellish, for you to then maximize and bring in those extra pieces. I absolutely love that. Obviously the design team have really thought about the elements on there and the designs to make it work. But don't forget, you've got that beautiful artwork that you can use time and time again. Add a little bit of glitter if you want to, add, you know, your gems and ribbons like we said, but this now will really give you options and choice. And look at that. I had this one on a show the other day, and honestly, I know a lot of you have got this little character at home now, but can you see how the arch there, it just slots in and it sits beautifully on that card. It really does look striking. So it could be for a man's card, depending on what colours you cut this in as well. It could be for the girls or for the guys. You have got that time now to spend and do that too. But remember, for $39.99, this is your fantastic delicate sweet pea. Goes back up on Friday, but already, is it over 40% of the stock has gone now? Just over 40% of the stock has now gone. I know a lot of you came in first thing or last night and first thing as soon as it hit the website. So make sure you are checking out yours. And while you're there, do go and have a look at obviously all your tapes, your glues, things like that. Stock up on your essentials and don't forget to download your artwork. And if you are, make sure that you're using the ProPrint paper to get the best effect. Now, like I say, I got so carried away using these bits. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, oh, what else can I do with these? Now, this again, and like I say, I went frame crazy. Now, with this again, I cut the frame. Okay, this one, I use the second one down. So I didn't use the largest one. I used the second one down. And then, like I showed you before, I put this piece in and cut it out. Okay, so that cut out that bit, so we've got all that ready to go. So I made a nice little frame again, just using the dies, and you can see it's very narrow, but that was my look I was going for. Okay, now with this, what I want to show you is, well, that was the bigger one that I made, but I did make a smaller one just to show you too. Now, you're left over, I was prepping, I was left over with all these, and I thought these are such a beautiful shape. Now with these, obviously you can use these on your cards, because I thought you could use them like feathers. They could also look like the petals of a flower if you actually shaped it up. And then I was thinking, come Halloween, you could actually shape these out and add more and curve them and make it look like a pumpkin. Okay, because when you shape them out, you'll get that pumpkin shape, okay, with those. So, but I just thought, I can't waste them. So my thought was, made my frame. I put some red liner tape on the back to hold it, because obviously I had to travel and get here. And I'm going to show you now, if you make a little frame, you can then go in with these pieces and make it like hills and valleys. Can you see? So it looks like ribbon has been tucked, or fabric, and I thought, what a great way using the scrap bits. So all you're doing is this, and it doesn't matter as long as like you've got all the bits covered, because then you cut the excess away afterwards. You just got to make sure that you've got like a bit of glue on the back as you go in to glue them down. Obviously your red liner tape on the edge is going to catch it here, but as you start then moving it up, you can see it just looks like a beautiful ribbon effect. And you know, I don't like waste. As crafters, we really don't. So I just thought it was a good way to show you how to use this and get the most out of it. So again, I'm just shaping that one over, flip it over, a little bit of glue with this one. And then when you finish, we put red liner tape on the back, and then we cut off all the excess bits. Just got to make sure that you cover all your little pieces. And you'll notice as well, which way round you use it, because one side will have a beveled edge, one side won't. So make sure you get the pieces right there, and then you can see this comes together very quickly. And I was like, oh, I'm really, but you could make it look like hills and valleys. You could ink it a little bit and make it look like hills. Yeah, I just thought, if you've not got embossing folders and things like that, what a nice way to use your scrap bits and get a different design. So I'm just slotting in the last bit there, But I just thought as a panel, that looks great. So now what I'm going to do is put some red liner tape on. This is just to secure it all. Obviously it's going to be bulky on the back because obviously we have got all these pieces, but don't worry, it will be fine. So with this, I did make a standard normal, you know, card. I just got some cardstock, scored it in half to the size that I wanted because I wanted to make sure that this really does hold. Then what you're going to do is then, obviously if you cut it that way, you're not going to see your line normally, and then I use the outside of it and just cut along here, okay, because normally we would use the reverse, but we need the line. Just don't, make sure you angle your scissors in, kind of hold your scissors a little bit like that, not like that, because you will end up cutting into it. If you angle them out a little bit, you're more likely to cut it flat rather than cut into your side piece. So you can see, there we go. So I got that beautiful textured background, which I was quite chuffed with, I'm not going to lie. Something a bit different. Oh, there we go. Then I start slinging stuff. Now, next up, we're just going to add a little bit more glue to the back of this because I want this to fuse then to the reverse of my card. So make sure you put plenty of glue on the back of here. Okay. So this again is just going to give you that little bit of detail. So with that, like I say, I told a fib to start with. I did the frame with the biggest one. Did the frame with the biggest one first, and then the next one down, that's what I did that frame with. So just in case you're thinking, what frame? Well, she didn't use that frame. I have used that one. Let's get these little bits out because I don't need these all underneath. So just excuse me a moment while we're tidying up, and we'll take those off of there. My daft telly nails that I can't pick anything up. So there we go. That works now. So we've got that nice neat finish, and then what I thought was bring this frame back in. So again, frame within frames. I got a bit carried away. I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know what happened, but sometimes it's like sometimes you'll do a certain size of card, but with this it was all about the framework. I don't know why, and a frame within a frame, and it just worked. So experiment with those. So you can see I've got height, I've got dimension, we've got texture, we've got it all. So then when we bring the flower in and we add this in, it's already dressed. It looks like satin ribbons have been pleated around the background of it. Or if you did it, say, more in browns, or you did it in craft card, it could actually look like a trellis work. You know, like you can get the fences that look, you know, the fancy ones that are cut in curves and stuff. It could look like that. So it could be for somebody who likes the gardening and things like that. What you could also do is if you got some twine, you could add a bit of twine in there, because normally with sweet peas and stuff, sometimes they grow up the canes, don't they? So you could actually have, you know, the little bits of twine in there or a little bit of ribbon, and that would bring it to life. Then I've got the decoupage bits as always, and we're just going to add in these pieces in here again to give that volume. But I just think the white on white with that background using the waste bits, it was just too good a chance to miss out on, I feel. And hopefully you'll all, you know, give this a go at home and realise and think, oh yeah, I could use those. But really super special. So let's say now 45% of the stock has now gone. Bearing in mind this is the first show. We will be back later at 1 o'clock. So make sure you tune in, but don't leave it. You know, I always have to give you a little bit of a wheel of warning. I don't like you to miss out, because I know what it's like. I'm gutted if I miss out on my craft things. So I don't want you to miss out too, because there will be more and more people coming in later on today when they finish work or watching this on repeats, and the stock will really, really dwindle. Like I say, the price goes up at Friday at midnight. So you've got till then, but I don't think the stock will be around that long, to be honest with you. Now, with this one again, you could add little gems to the corner. Like I say, you could add a ribbon, whatever you want, but utilising all your scraps, making it cost effective, being able to make and sell with it. What a beautiful card you have got with that dimension, with that shape, and different. Because again, sometimes you might just want that bit of texture, but white cardstock, even a newbie could do that. All I've done is place them behind to give it that different shape. Shall I show you some of the cards that we've made this hour so you can have a look how different and how much sizing we can do with that as well. So you can see this is what we started off with. This is the purest form. So if you want to just take it out of the box, cut it and make this card, this is how you are going to make this. It's going to be very pure and simple. Then we mixed it up. We started adding in then a double aperture by just rotating the card behind and changing it up that way. And then we went grande. We went big to show you that then you can bring your cards in and you can see that too. Sorry, I've got red liner tape on it. But you can see there, this is how different the sizes, the shapes, and then the last one, using the waist, that really gives you a different feel with this. But honestly, check back. I don't mind if you make and copy any of the designs that I've done. I'll be more than happy for you to, you know, if you need that little bit of inspiration, so with the design team, but obviously with the design team, just leave them a thank you and just, you know, thank them for all their hard work as well, like we do, because they do an incredible job. The designs that they come up with, like Fiona, look at that beautiful design. And the colourways that they've used as well. This one's a Barbara card, so hopefully I've not left anybody out. And you can see with this how beautiful these are. Using it, obviously, landscape or portrait with this, you can then add in different styles, different looks. Your message can sit in there. Your flowers can just be over the top. I like this one as well. Look at this, a thinking of you card. How many of us have to make those kind of cards and you just think, oh, what am I going to do? Clean and Simple will give you that base, give you that confidence to be like, yeah, I know what I'm going to do this time. And let me just take this one out, because then changing it totally. Look at that. And that's from Sue with that beautiful hummingbird on there as well. I don't know, probably a lot of you will have seen, did you see the hummingbirds on Facebook where they were hiding out of the rain and they'd found these big roses in somebody's garden, and they'd actually, and the you know, like when roses then lose their form and the shape as they're starting to, like, you know, die off a little bit, but the inside was missing and both of them were sat in there together. It was such a beautiful thing. So honestly, you know, please look at using more of your imagery like this. Look at that. And remember, all the imagery that you see on all these cards and the one in the vignettes that you will be getting today with your collection, if you download it, they're all hand drawn. They're all hand coloured. The hours that go into it, all in-house by the fantastic, I know Bunny's with me today, there's Nick and Jazz, do you know what I mean? They do an incredible job to bring you this incredible artwork, and honestly, my hat, you know, really goes off to them because they work so hard. It's not all AI'd and things like that. This is hand drawn, so you are getting bespoke, you are getting polished, you are getting the most professional artwork you could possibly ever want. And this is only available here for this week with your Clean and Simple Plus collection. At $39.99, you can see how magical you can make and sell your cards for then you to use this collection over and over again. And once you start using this, you will have more people asking you what you've used and what we want to use it for. If you have just joined us, let's just show you the board so we can show you exactly what you're getting. It's one of the plus ones, so when you get the plus ones, it is the die packaging. This is what you will get. You'll still get the colorways on the front. You'll also get the finished example to show you as well. But with the plus ranges, think of these as extra slot-in bonus collections. These are like if you're collecting, you know, like when we were kids, you collected all the sticker cards and things. This is like the golden one. These are the extra ones that are in there. Slightly larger than the normal collections. But with this, you will still get your vignette. You'll get your coloured artwork. You'll still get the fantastic layers, the mats and layers, the detail, the decoupage layers in there as well. And then all of your other little stamps that you have received from the Clean and Simple range, from the, you know, the box ones that we do, they will fit in there too. So everything works together and you can mix and match those in. And you've got the potential now with the dies, as I've been showing you. Now I've pulled those off there. I've messed those up, but it will be fine. I'll put them back. This then will give you the opportunity now to take your card making to a different level. If you want to do it as it is, then do that. But if not, expand, practice with copier papers and things like that. And that will give you a beautiful, beautiful look with all of your cards. Like I say, we don't do the plus ones all the time. You know, probably every 5-6 weeks we will bring you a new Clean and Simple, but these are the special collectors ones. This is the Delicate Sweet Pea collection that we're bringing you today for $39.99, available on your website, so do make sure that you get those. Being able to make those beautiful cards. But don't forget, please make sure that you do come back and you join us at 2 p.m. today. I will be back showing you even more demos and different things. So if you've got any, anything you want to ask, drop us a message, leave us in the comments, drop us a message and we'll do that. But massive thank you to the team and yourself at home for watching this, and I will see you a little bit later.